Nobody goes on forever and ever and ever. And I'm not going to go on.
I mean, a man who lives in the past has no future. What a man does today is his tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the DOXX Report. Retired United States citizen, a MAGA member and proud of it, a recipient of Medicare payments, living and broadcasting from Central Florida. Where, Frank?
Del Boca Vista.
Thank you, Frank. This is my personal YouTube channel, vlog, citizen journalism account, and my generalized social online platform. In addition, I'm founder and CEO of the Central Florida Network and wannabe affiliate of the Villages News Network. Thank you for joining me. Now, pretty good day today. 4 people watching, that's good. There is a football game today, the World Cup. It's Canada, Canada versus South Africa. I just can't sit through an entire game. I might turn it on, but that's at 3 o'clock. That's in an hour and a half, basically. I think they go up against South Africa. It's the furthest, I believe, Canada has ever been in the World Cup. So will our neighbor to the north be victorious, or will they be shot down? Don't know. Pretty good. Oh, before I forget, I had what's the right word? A fan of my vehicle at Wawa on Friday. After I finished the fitness center, I went over to Wawa for breakfast and my coffee. I had to go back to my car to put something away, and this Asian guy was dragging his girlfriend towards my car, and he was taking pictures of it. Now, how complimentary is that? So I didn't go up to my door. I kind of stopped. And then when he got up to it, I said, "You want to make me an offer?" He goes, "Is it yours?" I go, "Yeah." And I opened the door for him, showed him around. I said, "You're not going to like it. It's an automatic." And he said, No, I like it, And I said, "It's pretty good for a geezer or so." He said something. And the girlfriend, she was just smiling. She was like about, I think, a foot taller than he was. But nice couple. And then I, held the door for him. I had to go back and get my coffee. And I said, I did ask him, "You don't see many of those, do you?" And he goes, "No. If you don't know what I'm talking about, what am I talking about? Do I have it? Yeah. 2025 GR Corolla, Toyota Corolla." But he was excited to see it. Anyway, what else? So I had a pretty good week. I did all my workouts. I don't want to talk about that unless it comes up. So I got a lot done today. Actually, I love, and it's so important to make your bed in the morning. It really is, because it sets the tone for the day. You want to accomplish. You weren't put on this plane of existence to suffer or to go without, or have a bad day. Get up, move around. So I went out and did a little yard work because my neighbor keeps kidding me, the military guy, because the water hits his grass there. It's greener than anything, and we call it the fairway. Well, there's a big brown patch in the middle of it, and I realized this St. Augustine grass, when it takes off, it just covers the sprinkler head that pops up. So I had to take the trimmer out and get that done. Then he came out. He was out walking his dog, so I spent some time with him. that was kind of nice to chat with him. And he had a pretty funny story. But he doesn't learn. So he was walking up to the gate, and some guy was speeding up to the gate, that's his business. And he points at him, and you're speeding. The guy rolled down the window, flipped him off. So now he flips him off. And then the guy started following him around in the car and yelling at him, you look at me, you look at me. He just wouldn't look at him. And it's like, I go, well, who started this? Who started this conversation? He said, I did. Yeah. But you don't, he didn't do anything to you. He's just speeding, but that's kind of funny. He won't learn. It'll happen again. But it is really dry. It is hot. Birdcage, 102 degrees Fahrenheit in the shade, even though the temperature online says 93 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 34 degrees centigrade. Humidity 59%. Winds 5 kilometers per hour. That would be 3 miles per hour. No rain yesterday. You can hear it thundering. It's just east of us. Wouldn't come over. Would not come over. So I'm thinking, well, I watered Friday, nothing Saturday. I didn't water this morning, but it's starting to burn up. So I guess I gotta water in the morning. There's another chance of rain this evening. I don't think it'll happen. So what are we talking about today? Oh, Marcus Allen Frishman. What do you want first? It was great because Archie had to keep up with him. Archie made some incredible statements to this guy, which cannot be true. In fact, I got to check with ChatGPT. I got to find something out. Excuse me for one moment. Uno momento. Let's see. Paul Pluta, known as Archie Luxury, educational. Let's see. Paul Pluta, known as Archie Luxury, comma. Let's see. Please give me his, what do you call it? School credentials or school background, school history. No, educational history. Educational history. I can't type very well today. Here we go. I'll verify from current public sources because biographical details for YouTubers can be inconsistent or thinly sourced. School institution, it doesn't really list anything. I did not find a reliable public source showing a confirmed university degree, college diploma, major, or graduation dates. Okay, there's nothing for him. He did graduate high school, did he not? Have I got that wrong? 5 people watching? What do you want to do first? You want to do Archie first, or we can do taxes or executive orders? Let's see. And then I do have some clips. We got some political stuff, UAP, UFO material. Well, 6 people. I got to go with this Archie stuff. This got me motivated to stream. So let's get into that. And there's a link in the description to the episode that I will be referring to. I source my material. Let's see. Oh. Bum, bum. All right, now this, it's banter in the beginning, but I didn't, and then something really caught my attention. Now this This is what happens when you're a cult leader. Oh, he's telling Frishman about the boxes and all that stuff. Let me find it exactly. Okay, yeah, this is classic Archie. he's when you're lying and try to think on your feet, it doesn't work. You gotta write a statement. So he's talking to Frishman. He goes, "I've packed all my stuff into boxes, ceiling to the floor," and he's pointing out his boxes. Beautiful. And Frishman says, "Beautiful." At the 51-minute mark, 42nd, okay, link in the description, quote, Archie, "I have bought a one-way ticket to, I was saying China." Well, let's get his photo up here. And some of you may be new to the show. You don't know who Archie Luxury is. He's this character. He thinks he's Archie Luxury III, Chesterfield III, tremendous, powerful, successful individual, when he's actually just bumbling Paul Pluta. "I bought a one-way ticket. I was saying China." In other words, I told everybody China, but it's actually Vietnam because I didn't want people to know where I was going. I'm going to Vietnam. You didn't want to know where you were going, so now you're telling them Vietnam, which you know is a lie. I mean, I'm reading the transcript. I was saying China, but it's actually Vietnam because I didn't want people to know where I was going. I'm going to Vietnam. That only makes sense to Archie because he's a cult leader. In other words, the cult followers will believe him, anything he says. "Oh, you're going to Vietnam." Well, why would you tell him you're going to Vietnam if you don't want him to know where you're going? Because it's wash and repeat. He's going to China. Don't forget that. Shenzhen, China. He has to be going there. That's his escape hatch. And now whether his boxes will remain there for storage or move to the father's garage, I don't know. And once again, we're back to, he's talking about he split the money, he's divorced, when just recently he said, when the divorce goes through, in other words, it hasn't gone through, I haven't done the money settlement. But according to Frishman, I think he's in a pissing contest with Frishman, so he has to tell Frishman that he's divorced years ago, and the money settlement is, we've agreed on terms, but we'll get to that. We got a comment. All right, thank you. Tap on the shoulder. I knew it would come up, which is okay. A tap on the shoulder. "So have you and Jack's cut ties? Have you given back the keys to the Holiday Man's channel?" Well, I've asked him to remove it. You can't really give them back. This is not a personal thing. I think Gampers is trying to make, there's nothing personal about this. I move on, and I'm no longer participating in any way with the channel over there. I'm just not going to do it. That's for Green Room. Green Room, Randy's mouth. Okay, let's see what he's got. I'd like to see it get monetized and get more views and maybe change it up a bit, but I'm not part of it. It's Green Room's turn now. Let him do it. So if I cut to, well, I'm on a hiatus, you would say, if that answers your question. And I've asked him to, he can't, there's nothing, all he has to do is go online to the, I keep wanting to say Playboard, but it's not Playboard. It's StreamYard, and just remove me. I've deleted my brand over there, and it's just, now he's got 2 sets of keys, so we give one to, we can do whatever he wants with the keys. But I recommend Green Room because he's got these fantastic ideas, and he's so talented, and he's likable, so let him do it. I don't know. I didn't see the post. I watched Nicola's post, but don't understand. What's the big betrayal? This is more about Green Room than it is Jax. Jax was playing along. He was playing along with him. And again, it's a no guardrails. That applies to me too, or whatever goes on there. But it was more than Green Room. I mean, it was more than Jax. It was Green Room. He's a professional agitator, and he got to me. And I put it up there, and it's like, okay, all right, go ahead. there isn't a baby boomer out there that he wouldn't run over. Okay, that's all I can say. There is no big betrayal. This is not a personal thing. This is the decision I made, what's best for me and what's best for Jax. That's all. And opportunity for the guy that runs his mouth, which is Green Room. It's that simple. Tap on the shoulder. You really have that much contempt for Green Room? What he did was not satirical. That's just aggression. There's no humor in what he said. I mean, I could play it back for you. It was just an attack on me. That's all it was. And I'm tired of it. So take over, Green Room. Come on. Show your brilliance. Turn that channel around. Do your thing. Help him out. Well, he's banned from this channel, I'll tell you that much. All right, back to Archie, unless we get further comments. So, he didn't want, let's see, again, I bought a one-way ticket. I was saying China, but it's actually Vietnam because I don't want people to know where I'm going. Then why tell us? Because he's going to China, all right? We know that. I know that. His cult members may not know that, but I know that. So now this is Frishman. So let me understand. You've moved your prized possessions into this room that you will still control even though you're in Vietnam? He's not. It's China. Yeah, so I get a visa that allows me to stay 90 days at a time. And then Frishman, you'll bring your stuff? You'll ship your stuff? Actually, you know what? I'm just going to leave it in this room at the moment. How I'd eat that up if his wife cleaned it out for him. Okay, I'm just putting it away because I don't want to just put it all in, I don't want it all in storage. Yeah, you got Daddy's garage, which I predict it'll be there before he leaves in September. And then Archie describes he's got his shirts and equipment and stuff here. I'm just doing my taxes, he claims. Not leaving for a couple months because I want to do the financial year, blah, blah, blah. All right. Taxes for July, blah. I'm getting my passport back. It's coming back to me, and I'm going to go overseas. I'm also following your lead, Frishman. I'm going to follow you. So this room here basically will just be my room at the house. I've said to people here, I've got my son, my ex-wife. I divorced him a number of years ago. I don't think that's to prove it. Show us the divorce certificate. Because the last I heard, when the divorce goes through, that means it's not done yet. And he has not done the financial settlement stuff. So I see the comments, but let me just get through this thing a little bit further. I divorced a number of years ago. That's at the 54-minute mark. Archie decided, for financial reasons, to stay with our investment because we had quite a good investment spread. It's silly to sell off just because we're not technically matrimonial married. You know what I mean? Keep your assets together, you know? Okay, of course Frishman agrees. But Frishman keeps trying to push on the Philippines. The problem with the Philippines, Mr. Frishman, is those women don't have money. He's looking for money. Archie's looking for money. Yeah, look, he responds, the only problem I have in the Philippines, I think I could be taken like a sucker. Like, you want the woman to be the sucker, not you the sucker. Yeah, well, if I'm not careful, I could be taken like a sucker, you know what I mean? You're not going to let that happen, Archie. You're too wise. You can't make this stuff up. All right, comments, then we'll get back to this. Comments? No, they're not. I can't give the keys to anyone. What you're not following here is I purchased the StreamYard account. I gave money to Jax. He purchased the StreamYard account. The StreamYard account is in Jax's name. He owns it. He's the only one that can give out keys. So you gave Dr. Bobby keys. No, I have no keys. That's not what it is. When they give keys, the owner of the StreamYard account goes in, puts in an email address, and makes them an administrator. Now, I've asked him to remove me, and he can put in whoever he wants. But I'm suggesting Green Room. He's the guy with all the brilliance and all the talent. Well, it's not backstabbing. I'm not claiming I was backstabbed. Okay? I mean, other people can frame it any way they want. And this is how Jax was solid with me and honest with me. And he was playing along with Green Room. However, Green Room hit my buttons. And he's good at that. So I'm going, okay, you do it. You know, because he was critiquing me over here. I was trying to get something done on this channel. And then he's critiquing me. And it's like I had to just get rid of him. It's like he's not helping the stream here. He's an agitator. So that's not contempt. That's what he does. I feel fine now. Just put him out of the way. But now it's an opportunity. I'm doing what's best for me. I think what's best for Jax, because I think there's a chance if people want that, if people support it with Green Room over there, I hope it takes off. You know, more subscribers and be monetized. At some point, I hope he makes Playboard. I'll report on it. So I'm not backstabbing anyone. And I'm not claiming I was backstabbed. Time Lord, backstabbing seems to be human. I'm not claiming I was backstabbed. Correct. There you go. Tap on the shoulder. So you did buy the StreamYard for Jackson. Well, I provided the money. He purchased it. You know, this is business. I asked for a receipt, so I got it, and it's all above board. And he thanked me, and I told him I would do it. And now, you teach a man to fish, all right? You don't give a man a fish, you teach a man to fish. But you got to give him a fishing pole. So now he's got the fishing pole. He's got his own channel to do what he wills with. You know, hopefully it succeeds. And it's time for me to get out of the way. And I'm being criticized by Green Room. And Dr. Bob saying, the Green Room Network. I hope it works. Do it. So did you buy the StreamYard for... Correct. I funded it. Correct. And I asked for the keys. The keys were not part of the deal. After he purchased it, I said, well, I got to get some thumbnails up for you and some clips. The easiest way I know to do that is you give me the keys, a set of keys, and then I can just load them right up. But now I'm walking away. I've walked away. This is for Green Room, or for however they want to do it over there. All right, back to Archie. I don't think I'm that interesting. I don't think the whole thing is, you know, I was generous. He accepted it. Everything's good. Everything's on good terms. I'm not texting him, and I'm not calling him, and I'm not taking calls from him or texts. I'm breaking off. A deal with Green Room. All right, now let's get back to you with what started... I don't think it's that interesting, but that's what the audience wants. That's what I'll give you. What started this rift between you and Green Room? I believe it to be, well, he's always been after baby boomers. I'll give you an example, Sirocco. He was going to name his executive producer way back when, and I was watching the show, and he named Lexter Dexter. And I just started laughing. I thought it was so funny because he never checked with me, and so I just played in with it. So I took the role of executive producer. And then what happened? Then he was flirting with OC, original OC. And then I just caught wind of some kind of Japanese, some derogatory thing with me involved, and I immediately resigned. Other than that, and I do a few thumbnails. Now he keeps saying, quit talking about. I don't think I've talked about him. And whatever thumbnail I've done to him, I think look pretty good. He looks pretty good as Steve McQueen. Okay, Pinocchio was a little maybe overboard, but Steve McQueen looked okay to me. I don't think that was derogatory, and I don't really talk bad about him, except he's he's a gamer. He's Game Boy. He should he talks. Let's see him accomplish something over on the Holiday Man channel. I want him to succeed. I really do. All right, back to the Archie. Come on now. Let's see. Okay, so he doesn't want Filipino money because they need the money. Archie needs the money, not the woman. He's got to find somebody with money. Quote. All right, we're back to, listen. A tap on the shoulder. You two definitely, there is no relationship. We spar online once in a while. That's probably the best way to describe it. However, when he went over to the Jackson Dr. Bob show on the Holiday Main channel, see, he was inside and he was taking shots at me, and it's like, hey, you can do a better job than do it. I got it up there. I mean, you can go listen to what he said. And I don't want to hold the channel back. There's no relationship, really. We just spar once in a while. Well, I won't say that. I'm not going to say that. Okay, now here, Willis back quoting to Archie. Okay, I don't want to be paying for something and medical expenses for them. Yeah, I don't want to be paying for a mom and medical expenses for them. Yeah, Archie doesn't want to spend money on a woman. Quote, I want someone who's going to take care of my medical expenses. Do you understand that? This is Archie. Well, that may be China. The Chinese women are very docile. Well, I don't think that's true. Now, this is Frishman talking. The Filipino women are strong, independent, whatever. I'm not going to go there. What I'm saying, now this is back to Archie, what I'm saying here, you can see I'm packing up. I've even got my you can see my Louis Vuitton suitcases are packed up there too. 56 minutes, 12 seconds. Yeah, let's see. When's your departure? Sorry, when is your departure, Archie? Next year, September. 56 minutes, 30 seconds. All right, now we got more comments. Here's Campers. He's the tough questioner here. Well. Good afternoon from humid New York City. Good afternoon, Campers. I have no friends. I made that very clear to everybody online. I'm friendly, but I'm not here to meet expectations. Do you consider these people friends or coworkers? Not even coworkers. They're just acquaintances online. I'm civil. These are just people you meet either at the fitness center. I'm civil at the fitness center. And if I don't like you or I don't feel a good vibe, I'll avoid you. What do you call the people I work out with? And I'm friendly with some of them, some couples in that. I've gone to breakfast with a couple and another guy. But friendly. I'm not, or my neighbor. I'm friendly with my neighbor, but I'm not, I wouldn't call him, well, they invite me to Thanksgiving dinner, but I don't like the term, I don't want a label. I'm just friendly. Isn't the Mort dog? Now, he's never been a friend. That I wouldn't claim that. And I'm not, that's not a dig. Okay. Isn't the Mort dog a friend? I have no friends. I'm not here to meet expectations or to loan Morty money, okay? All right, let's get back to Archie. Isn't this more, I think Archie's more interesting than my thing. All right, here we go, Campers again. Asking the tough questions. DOXX, you said you're taking a wait and see approach. No, that was in regards to, you're asking me if I'm going to support the channel monetarily. Well, it depends what product they bring out. Does that mean you will continue to pay for? No, the StreamYard's bought and paid for. A yearly subscription. It's done. Cha-ching. It's a fact. Based on private monetary. No. That's a done deal. And let me go find that. What did I do with that? I got a receipt. Because I did ask for a receipt. Because it's business. Online miscellaneous billing. StreamYard. Jax. I paid pal Jax some money from my, I didn't know it was that much. And he then purchased, let's see, there's the amount, all right, I am looking at the StreamYard account. It is made out, it's an email to the holiday man, just so Watch Nicholas doesn't make up a story that he pocketed the money. And I got a copy sent to me. Receipt for StreamYard purchase, thank you. And it was forwarded to me. He's got the core plan. Start date, May 2nd, 2026. Next renewal date, May 2nd, 2027. Subscription price, $431.88. Payment card, all right, so it's paid for. And I got the receipt for it. He's got it for a year. Now, if you're asking me I'm going to pick it up next year, it's too soon to ask that. So you said you wait and see approach. Does that mean you will continue to pay for stream? No, it's been paid for. Or provide other money. Depends on what they roll out. I want to see green room, what happens over there. No, I was agitated by what he had to say. Because it wasn't humorous, it was just aggression. I mean, Jack's treated it as humorous, and he was going along with it, both him and Dr. Bob. But I took, I didn't like it. It didn't sit well with me. It's mostly green room. It is all green room. Let him do it. Now I'm out of the way. Here's your opportunity, green room. Is it true there were behind-the-scenes negotiations, discussions leading up to the green room takeover? No, here's the honest-to-God truth. I had already made up my mind I was walking. I'm done. And I happened to get a text from Jax. Intuition, whatever you want to call it, I didn't want to talk to him. He says, you got time for a call? I said, not at this time. I've already made up my mind, but I didn't tell him that. And then I showed him what I was going to say in the comments. He said, well, let's talk. Let's talk. I don't want to talk. Let me quote somebody. I'm a grown-ass man. I made up my mind. Now, I'm stubborn, and I want out, so I just left. There was no negotiation. I did tip him off. Had he not texted me at that moment, I wouldn't have told him. And that's kind of where, and I also said in the comment on what I put up there that Jackson and I suffer from the same condition, stubbornness. Well, I don't know what his comes from, but I remember when I was younger, I didn't look at it as being stubborn. I looked at it like being focused, all in, I'm doing this. Nothing's going to prevent me from doing this. My calisthenics, doing sit-ups, doing whatever it is, drive a bus, I'm going to earn my way, now you want to call it stubborn? I guess, but as you get older, stubbornness is like that you don't really need it now, like lighten up a little bit. But back then, some of it's carried over. So basically, there's no change at all. No, there is a change. I am not doing anything for the channel. No thumbnails, no anything. Or even trying to talk, I said it openly. Hate does not sell. And criticizing the audience, that's a lose-lose. And if you don't want to stream, then don't stream that night, and then pick a topic you want to talk about. I want to talk about Archie and some other things, but I enjoy the comments. The change is I'm no longer over there in any format, in any kind of thing. I'm done. I'm gone. Do you consider, Watch Nicholas is ADHD with autistic traits. I consider him the same as Aaron Fletcher. I just don't take seriously. Sorry. I don't mean to be funny or cutting. I mean, that's really what I think about it. Competitor, I don't know. I'm not a competitor or anything. I do my thing. He does his thing. But again, somebody who buries money in their backyard, cash, $30,000, $40,000, not now, it's not there now, and is buying individual stocks and gambling in the market is, and drinking and, I just don't, what do I care what I don't watch it. I did see the Mookie film, that thing. I should put a link in the subscription here, or the description here. Mookie has a new thing out with Jackson. I thought it was funny. I almost spit up my coffee, but it's not accurate. I mean, I think the claims in there are inaccurate, but the fact that it was doing the movie, I just remember 2001. Some of those scenes I don't really remember, unless it's a different one, or a more modern version. I consider Watch Nicholas as a person who has an illness. So how he sees the world or how he sees me, it doesn't affect me. You made up your mind to do what? To get away from the channel. I made up my mind. I'm going to wash my hands. I'm out. Green Room's going to go on there and say I'm hurting the channel, and if somebody was really in there that was talented and likable, it would do so much better. Go ahead, Green Room. It's yours. I'm out. What precipitated this decision? Green Room's remarks. You sound hurt by this. I guess it was hurt to a degree. It was like, and I think that's the wrong word. It's somebody on the sidelines who can't do his own show on a regular basis, telling me how to do my show, and then showing up on the Jackson Dr. Bob show, criticizing my participation over there. Now it's his turn. Was I triggered? I guess that's probably a better word. You sound hurt. Nah, Green Room definitely triggered you. Well, it did me a favor. Now I can worry about other things. I can concentrate on this channel, and then I can concentrate on my X account. Gampers, so let me get this straight. So you will not be on the channel or promote it on your own channel because of the because of my own reason. I don't know what you mean by inconsistencies. Indifference and or hateful attitude. Let's see. Because of the inconsistency, indifferent and or hateful attitude of the show, you may still pay for a StreamYard. I'm not committing to next year. That's way down the line. He may be in a different position. He's working also. Plus, he's got health problems. Again, I don't feel betrayed. I don't feel like I'm stabbed in the back. It's really about Green Room. I want to get out of the way, so let Green Room work his magic. I don't know. I don't feel that way at all. Pavel, Docs, after your experience, do you feel, Jax, this is your guys' narratives. I don't have these narratives. Cultivate online friendships mainly as a means to benefit himself. Well, he's doing a channel. He wants support of it. Cultivate friends. I'm not his friend. I've never claimed to be his friend. I'm generous, but we didn't talk every day. I don't expect that. Because that was the ultimate solution to his situation, was to give him a StreamYard account. You don't have to partner with Watch Nicholas or myself or Morty or Curly. You got your own channel now. But that's your narrative, Pavel, not mine. Green Room is a higher order troll. You take anything he says to heart. he triggered me, and he was trying to, the serious intellectual discussion, it was just aggression towards me. And I'm not putting up with it. And he did it from, again, Jax and Dr. Bob were playing along with it, which is great. He's allowed to go back there and talk about me every time you want, Green Room. That's fine. He's an agitator. Who is the next in line for your stuff? He was never in line for that. It's not. It's paper mache. It's not stuffed. Docs, with Jack's out of the picture, who is the next in line for your stuff? There is nobody next in line. You have to contact the trustee. Well, I plan to be around for a while. That's another thing he said. Even before he said this, he was on there. I'm considering. Let's see. I don't know what to think when Lex passes away. I don't know how I feel when he dies. You're like, give me a break. That's just aggression. There's nothing funny about that. All right, now let's get back to Archie. Now, this is a key question of, what's his name? Marcus Allen Frishman, a.k.a. a Rothschild. Here we go. Look, this is Rothman. This is Frishman. Look. Here it is. Wow. Now, about your friends that host you in China. They must be missing you by now. Frishman, there are no friends in China. There's Mrs. Lai. He's making this shit up. The husband, there is a husband or ex-husband. He's got a girlfriend. He's not living there. And the room there is the son who's away at school. Archie, look. You know what? There's always look. Okay, so we've got a love-hate relationship. Who's we? It's you, Archie. But he's saying we've got a love-hate relationship with them. No, with Mrs. Lai. You can't close the deal. You hate her because you got her hooked. You got her almost in the boat, and she gets off the hook. So I told them at the start of, this is all bullshit. So I told them at the start of the year, I was coming to Vietnam and China. And they said to me, go yourself. We don't have any, we got things on. They were actually quite rude to me. This is all Mrs. Lai. There's no couple. Frishman, let's see. And then they said to me, Archie, that when I was in Vietnam, come and see us. They're begging Archie to come see him. Mrs. Lai, this is Archie trying to look good to Frishman. And I said, okay. And then they didn't want me to leave. I got over there, and then they come and see us, and then they said, okay, they didn't want me to leave. Oh, yes, yeah, please stay, Archie. You're the love of my life, Archie. And I said, look, I can stay. I can stay, but I've got some commitments. I've already bought some. I bought some package tours. I was doing some sightseeing. I went to see the panda bears in China. You know pandas? We never saw that. Did anybody see the panda bears? Did he stream that? Did he show any pictures of that? I want to see, I wanted to see the iPhone factory where people jump off into the nets. The nets, Foxconn. Did anybody see the Foxconn pictures? Anybody see those? No. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. He's just bullshitting all the way. And I wanted to see BYD, whatever that is, how they're going to slaughter the car industry. So he's just talking big for Frishman. Now, let's see. I know, but anyhow, what I'm trying to tell you is I haven't told them, in other words, Mrs. Lai, because they get very, very bossy and try and tell me, do this. And then they get very, very, you got to stay with us. No, you got to, no, I don't. This is great. And again, link in the description. This is at the 58-minute mark. I'm going to say, let's see, I'm not going to say anything until I want to see, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to tell too many people exactly which city and town I'm going to because they try and control my trip. Mrs. Light tries to control your trip. If you know the history of this guy, he couldn't get her to commit, so he goes across town or wherever in China, another part of China, in a Soviet-style apartment, and he complains to Mark Goldberg, and Mark Goldberg got it out of him. He wasn't happy with the progress he was making. He thought there'd be somebody else out there. There's not. I get anxious if too many people try and write the rules. I must say, okay, this is Frishman. This is about the Philippines. This is Frishman. I don't care what he's got to say. Frishman's trying to give him advice. Either one of these guys, they will not take advice from the other one. This is more nonsense. Coming down, yeah, I'll get to the comments here in a minute. I want to finish this up. Let's see. The funny thing is, let's see, Marcus, you're right. I'm taking it easy. I'm going for a couple of, I actually, the funny thing is, I said to my ex-wife, because what I've done is I've effectively cleaned out my entire wardrobe. You may as well use this because I don't know how long I'm going away for. What I actually said, I said, who knows what he actually said? He probably didn't say anything. Look, I could be gone for a month. I could be back in a month. I could be gone for a year. I don't know. I really don't know. The reason I sold the BMW off was I'm not making the big money, and I really want to do some travel. Okay. I'm getting to, there's a better part here. I'm getting to it. This is the BMW. I don't believe any of this stuff. I'll tell you the part I believe in. You can go listen to it for yourself. I'm cutting my costs. Yes, we know that. I canceled Spotify. I canceled blah, blah, blah. Or maybe that was Frishman. Now, admittedly, Archie, I'm going to live off the live streams, okay? I'll be honest with you, the show that I do. That's going to be my entertainment and, going out budget. And in other words, that'll provide money for his budget to go out. And today we made $4, okay. Okay, this is more. All right, I'm getting there. I missed that. All right. Okay, 1 hour, 5 minutes. All right. I sold, let's see. I still have a mortgage on the house, and I got an investment property. The good news is of course, I sold the watches off. I've been planning this for a year and a half because I sold some watches off. I've got a reserve of money, which I put back into the home loan. So technically, don't need to make a payment for a number of years. I don't think he's divorced. I don't think he's done anything on that front yet. It's getting close, though. By which time, let me tell you this, because he's a guy like that has to have his next landing spot. And that's up in the air. Which time, let me tell you this, the ex-wife's retirement funds are available, and she has agreed to pay the house off with her 401k funds because she can then withdraw money tax-free. Agreed. I think, remember when he bought her those purses and they were on the bed? What did she do? Oh, yeah, yes, oh, yeah. Anything in writing, Archie? Prove it. Why does he have to prove it, Lex? Because his life is public. This is all public information. He's talking to this over with Frishman. So what we've decided to do is actually use, she's going to say she will use those funds to pay the place off, and we've got an agreement. Whoa, you got an agreement. The court? Property settlement in the court? That a kind of agreement? Or just your understanding? We've already gone and did a settlement. A property settlement? You said you haven't done it yet. When the divorce goes through, and I haven't done a financial settlement yet. Now you're telling Frishman you have. Blah, blah, blah. The house will be paid off in 2030. Sure it will. Okay, but now I got to get to the good part here. Okay, he starts talking about Shenzhen. All right, here we go. Now he's going to be honest. Now it's time for some honesty. Now, what I'm telling you honestly, please don't tell anyone this. This is just between you and me. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Ideally, and this is the absolute truth, I want to find a lady who's got an apartment I can live in for free. Frishman, yes. I don't want to pay rent. I don't want to pay rent, okay? I don't want to be the one who's putting the money in. I want somebody who's got a basic apartment. I don't mind upgrading, like getting a more comfortable bed. Who's the bed for? Himself. I don't mind buying a bit of furniture to make it more livable. Who's that for? Himself. But I don't want to be paying monthly rent. I want somebody who's already got an apartment. Mrs. Lie. But he can't close the deal. Whether they're going to be a movie star, let's see. No, now this is Frishman talking. Okay, here we go. Let's see. But what I want to say to you is I don't mind putting a bit of the money. I'm not completely, they're not just paying for everything. In other words, he doesn't want him to pay, yes he does, but he's willing to pay some money. Okay, I'm going to contribute to the household in the sense that I will maybe get a more comfortable bed. Who's the bed for? For him. Yeah, you provide me a roof over it, and I'll get me a better bed. I will maybe get a more comfortable bed, maybe a better sofa for him, maybe a better TV, okay? But, sorry, a few upgrades. But I will also pay for some meals, which he will eat. The restaurant meals and some nicer food, right? Yeah, because Archie wants nicer food. But I want somebody who's got the base covered. You know, get the home base covered is what he's talking about. They got the base, and then I just providing the extras. You know what I mean? That's Mrs. Lie. I may do some travel. I just want to be independent. He's never been independent. He doesn't know how to be independent. He's a child. I want to be free. Do you see what I mean? I've got this safety net. I can come back. And but I'm hoping to find somebody who has an apartment so I don't have high costs. And I can taper my standard of living, depending. Obviously, if the super chats bomb, I'm not going to be out for the Wagyu steak dinners. Going for more local, noodles. I'll eat the noodles, he's saying. You got to adjust your life. But the important thing is, I totally agree with you. I want to be supported, not the one who pays the support, who pays for other people. This is the philosophy of the homosexual. Does that make sense? Sure does. And the thing is, I love your plan. Now the shit gets really deep. Me and you. All right, and the thing is, okay, I love your plan. Now, Archie, me and you, we have classically trained education. What's the name of the university, Archie? Oxford High? Classically trained education? That's prove it. I've done ancient history, modern history, politics like you've done there. There are many women in Asia who would love to jump at somebody like me and you. Now this is Archie talking up in his head. He believes it's in his head because that's the false self. Here, look, I am in my suit. I'm well fed, and you see if he can sell it. Because now here comes, we have some good talk. Good talk. We talk a good talk. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's called hustling. It's called being a con artist. You talk it. But I got to tell you something. I'm not looking. They don't have to be super rich. I don't even care. I'm just going there and see what I can find, what I can dig up, what I can scoop off. The thing is, this. All right, then it deteriorates. That's the end of the Frishman. That's the end of it. Go check it out. Link in the description. You can go listen for yourself. Archery Luxury Channel, doing the news business for you. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of him. Hey, classically educated, classical education, Archie Luxury. Can I have the legendary Gopher Slaying garden hoe? Sure. Well, I'm still using it. I've shown a picture of that. It's a manual edger, a manual edger. It's a half moon on a sturdy wooden handle, and keep an edge on it. Can I have the legendary gopher slaying garden hoe? Sure. Just come to the estate sale. Can you please play us the hateful and vicious comments said by Great Room? They were aggressive. I didn't call it hateful. I didn't call it vicious. He thinks he's funny, but there's nothing funny there. There's nothing humorous there. Let's see what I do with it. The green shroom. I'll have to turn it down.
I'd like to close out the show with the following few statements about Lexter and/or DOXX Report. Understandably terrified by loss.
Okay.
And the thought of him losing the two of you, any kind of control, any kind of... is just... the thought of him losing the two of you to someone that was truly better, brighter, more likable, would probably make Lexter's head explode.
Well, make my head explode. Green Room, take up the job. Come on, help him out over there.
Lexter, if I wanted Mr. Blonde and Bob, I could have them like that. And I can put them in a much, much better place.
The Green Room Network. That's an interesting thought.
You got him. Do it. Show us how it's done, Mr. Talent. No, it's a narrative. It's not an analysis, because I'm telling you what I think. My narrative is simply an analysis of character after years of careful observation. Okay. My narrative is simply an analysis of character after years of careful observation. Well, what did you say earlier? Doc, after your experience, do you feel Jax cultivates online friendships mainly as a means to benefit himself? No, I'm the one that made the offer, the initial offer. I mean, I'm the one that suggested it. He didn't get it out of me. I mean, he didn't come to me and say, please help me. He didn't say any of that. And he thanked me, and I'm sure he was grateful, and I liked helping out. I didn't mind doing up thumbnails and clips, and we do have clips to play. Gappers, Frishman is back. Hooray. Pavel, Frishman's proficiency at bullshitting. I think that's spot on. That's spot on. This guy, I mean, Archie's even in awe of him. How do you rent a BMW and then you just don't bring it back? And you get away with it. He rented if the story goes, he rented, I believe, a BMW from a rental agency in in Arizona, and he just took it to California with him. He just kept it. Tap on the shoulder. Just more question. Tap on the shoulder. Just one more question about your contributions to the Holiday Man channel. Uh-oh, I think I know what's coming. Did you purchase or did you help him purchase the MacBook Neo? That's a question for him, not me. That's a question for him, not me. Did they meet at Eton? I don't know what that means. Well, he was playing along. No, he was playing along. I mean, it was the one that upset me was Grimm. He was playing along. Jack sounds almost gleeful at what the shroom is saying. That must be her. No, because I knew he was playing. There's no guardrails. And listen, he even wanted or offered to apologize. No, you don't have. Jackson doesn't have to apologize for anything. It's his channel. There's no guardrails. I know the rules. There's no apology required. But I want to put Green Room to the test. Can he talk or can he actually accomplish something? That's a yes. No, that's not a yes. No, you ask him that. Now, once he answers, if he answers, he may not answer. I don't know what he's going to do. All right. So today, Memorial Weekend, let's see, July 4th weekend coming up. I'm thinking I would hit Costco. It's so hot out there. It's so damn hot out there. I put my cooler in the back seat of the Toyota Corolla back seat. I lock it in with the seat belts because it's got handles on it. So it's a rather big cooler, but it's stationary. I put in some cooling blocks that I have in the freezer, and then I do my shopping on that side of town. And then I just get a haircut while I'm over there. But now I can keep all of the food in the cooler in the back and relax. Oh, it was a great day. This was Saturday. I was going to do it Friday, and then I thought, to hell with that. I was just tired. I got my coffee, and then I came home, and I went Saturday morning. Perfect. Get in there, 9 o'clock. I got the executive card. Get checked out. And I had a check. They gave me a rewards check for like $14, so I had to spend it there anyway. Take that off the bill. And then I get everything in the cooler, the perishable stuff. And then I go get a haircut. Perfect. But she wouldn't take an appointment Saturday morning because it was so busy, but nobody wanted her. They wanted the other guys working there. There was 2 other barbers there at the time. And so I sat right down, got a haircut. Then I went over to the Wawa, got my coffee, went home. Oh, it was great. It was great. So then I got to run the numbers. Let's see. Wednesday's July 1st. So that's the end of the second quarter. So that's the halfway mark in the tax year, right? At least over here. So something's bothering me. Like I get all these tax deductions. There's a senior, I get like $24,000 in standard deduction. Extra, there's a, what the hell is it? This is great. I got to tell you what I did today. This really helped me. So I went on to I thought they have calculators online, so you can practice with your taxes. Like I want to get full advantage of all my standard deductions. As a senior, I think I get a total of it's 24,000 something. Yeah, the one big beautiful bill, the standardized deduction, then there's a senior deduction, and then there's the one big beautiful bill. So I get a total of deductions of $24,150. How did I know that? I got it off of ChatGPT. So you can go onto AARP or there's some other financial websites, but then you got to follow all the. So I thought, hey, let's just put it into ChatGPT. See if they can calculate my taxes. I thought, well, maybe they wouldn't do it, But so I went in there and I said, this is the question I put in. This is regarding the 2026 tax year. I'm currently 72 years of age, single and no dependents. I have a valid Social Security number, and I am receiving Social Security payments. My total Social Security payments for 2026 will be, and I put the amount in. My total dividends and interest will be, I think I overcalculated, but I put in an amount. I will have an IRA rollover taxable event, because that's what I'm thinking of doing, to take advantage of of all those deductions. It will be $15,000. I have no other adjustments to my earned income and will not be itemizing. Using IRS standard deductions and those I qualify for under the One Big Beautiful Bill, what will approximately my tax bill be? Guess what? It figured out the whole thing. It went through everything, because that is so confusing when you're on Social Security payments, because it's a portion of this. It's 50% of this. There's 3 different calculations you have to do, and then you take the lowest of the calculations. So it did it for me. So I do all of that, and it spit it out to me. What did it do? Okay, and it shows all the calculations below it. Based on the facts you gave, your approximate 2026 federal income tax bill is about $926. Nothing wrong with that. I can, plus I'm in the 10% marginal bracket. So I think I'm going to do it. But I think I gave him the figure too high in my dividends and interest. I don't think I'm going to have that much in interest. I'm going to recalculate that, because I'm going to run the numbers on Saturday morning, and then figure out what I'm going to end up with for the end of the year. But I think I'm going to go with the 15,000. And if I go a little bit under, a little bit over, fine. But I thought that was great. That was easy. So if you want to, like, if you're 50 years old or whatever your situation is, now I'm paying $20 a month for ChatGPT, but they'll let you use it free a couple times a day, if you want to make a thumbnail, whatever. So put this in there for your taxes, just to get an idea. Because now I do have H&R Block, but it's not fair to them to financial plan for me. That's not what they do. They do my taxes. But my question for them is, do I qualify for the $6,000? How much can I spend and not have to pay any taxes? Well, that's not what they're paid to do. They will calculate your taxes and file it, and you file it. So I just use ChatGPT. I think it's great. So I'm going to do that over the weekend, next coming weekend, and then I'll probably do because I got Vanguard and I got Fidelity. What I don't want, I don't want to say that. So I'm going to try to balance them out. So I'm going to probably do it at Vanguard and then take the money. And then the interest I'm getting at, let's see. Interest, finances. What did I do with that? Finance Fidelity Performance. So the money market fund, because they came out with some annual reports, and if you do the ratio, you take out the expenses, it's 3.11% interest. Now the bank here promised me 4% and then took that away. It's like 0.5% now. And the credit union in Indiana is 1%. So I'm going to move some money when I do this over to the Fidelity Government Money Market Fund Capital Reserve class. It was in 2025. It was that's total return. No, it was 3.92% net income. So anyway, if you want to kind of have some financial planning, you can go on to ChatGPT, ask it to calculate, put in some hypotheticals what your tax would be. I do get calls from Fidelity, and they want me to make an appointment with them. I'm not doing that. I don't even return their phone call because they do not have a fiduciary responsibility to me. And it's in the villages. Vanguard and Fidelity are in the villages. That's how they make their money. I don't need their help. I'm not sharing it with them. And they do not have a fiduciary responsibility to me. So anyway, it's something to think about. So what else are we going to talk about? What else? We got some comments. He said if he wanted to, he could help them. Well, no, now he's backing away. No, he's got plenty. He's a gamer. Take some time off the gaming sessions. Tap on the shoulder. He said if he wanted to, I'm calling him out, he could help them. That didn't sound like a commitment from Green Room at all. It was meant to trigger you. Well, he did it. He triggered me. So now he can do it. Tap on the shirt. It certainly did sound like a yes. Time Lord, am I banned? Apparently not. Doesn't mean you... Oh, I unbanned everybody, so I forgot what anybody did. So, but if you go back to your old ways, or if I'm looking at comments on another channel and you're ripping into me, I think to myself, if you really think that about me, what are you doing over here? And then I'll get rid of you. All right. EO 14196, Executive Order 14196. Does anybody know what that is? That is the President Trump signed an executive order to establish a national sovereign wealth fund. What is it? What's its purpose? President Trump signed Executive Order 14196 on February 3rd, 2025, a plan for establishing a United States foreign wealth fund. It did not by itself create a fully operating fund that day. No, Congress has to do that. It directed the Treasury and Commerce Secretaries to develop a plan covering funding, investment strategy, and structure and governance. Because I mentioned that to somebody at the fitness center. They go, what the hell is a sovereign wealth fund? I don't know. It's basically a government-owned investment fund. Think of it like a national investment account, a country plus public money or public assets into a fund. Then it invests that money in stocks, bonds, infrastructure, companies, minerals, energy assets, technology, or other, don't do Bitcoin, or other long-term holdings. The goal is to grow national wealth over time for public benefit. How does it help the public? They can lower taxes if they take the money out of the fund, right? All right, so that was interesting. If any, that's about as much as I know about it. What else? We got clips. Let's have some clips. Big oil investigation.
Elaborate on that. So it's ExxonMobil, it's Chevron, it's Shell, it's BP, it's a lot of them. The gasoline or the oil prices have come down so much, and we are not seeing anything at the pump by comparison to what it should be. We should be, in my opinion, at $2.25 right now at the pump. And we're higher than that. And we are doing a big investigation on it, yeah. They're not reducing the prices commensurate with what's happening. Look.
See, that you got to do that to big oil because they're so big and powerful. He's shaking the tree. He's waking them up. They don't want that. They don't want to be investigated. So maybe something will come of it. Sovereign Wealth Fund.
This is an executive order. Discharges your Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, and your Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, to begin a process that will hopefully result in the creation of an American sovereign wealth fund.
It's a very exciting event. We're going to have a sovereign wealth fund, which we've never had. We have a lot of things that create wealth, and you're seeing that over the last 2 weeks. I think we've created more wealth. Other people have created de-wealth, the people, my predecessors. We're creating a lot of wealth. Scott, maybe you'd like to say something about it, and I'd ask also Howard to say something about it.
Yes, sir. This is very exciting. We're going to stand this thing up within the next 12 months. We're going to monetize the asset side of the U.S. balance sheet for the American people. We're going to put the assets to work. And I think It's going to be very exciting. We're going to study best practices as done around the world. It'll be a combination of liquid assets, assets that we have in this country as we work to bring them out for the American people.
The extraordinary size and scale of the U.S. government and the business it does with companies should create value for American citizens. If we are going to buy 2 billion COVID vaccines, maybe we should have some warrants and some equity in these companies and have that grow for the help of the American people. So I bring all these things together, I think Scott and I will create an amazing sovereign wealth fund for you, sir.
So other countries have sovereign wealth funds, and they're much smaller countries, and they're not the United States. We have tremendous potential in this country, tremendous. You're seeing that, what's happened just in a short period of time. And as an example, TikTok, we're going to be doing something perhaps with TikTok, and perhaps not. If we make the right deal, we'll do it, otherwise we won't. But I have the right to do that, and we might put that in the sovereign wealth fund, whatever we make, or if we do a partnership with very wealthy people, a lot of options, but we could put that as an example in the fund, and we have a lot of other things that we could put in the fund. And I think in a short period of time, we'd have one of the biggest funds, and some of them are pretty large, I must tell you. Some of like the Saudi Arabia fund is on the large side, but eventually we'll catch it. But we're going to create a lot of wealth for the fund, and I think it's about time that this country had a sovereign wealth fund, and these two gentlemen and some others are going to work with them very closely, and they'll be heading it up, and they're going to do a great job. Two highly respected.
It's just like the wall. You can build a wall that keeps the illegals out until what? Till the Democrats get in office. The delusional, dangerous Democrats. The communists. Once the communists get in, they'll just... the fund will be gone because we're at a tipping point.
Which is barely a country, they have no anything. They just run around killing each other. There's no structure. And when I see somebody like Ilhan Omar, who I don't know at all, but I always watch her for years. I've watched her complain about our Constitution, how she's being treated badly. Our Constitution, the United States of America, is a bad place. Hates everybody, hates Jewish people, hates everybody. And I think she's an incompetent person. She's a real terrible person. But when I watch what is happening in Minnesota, the land of 1,000 lakes, or however many lakes they have, they got a lot of lakes, but this beautiful place, and I see these people ripping it off, and now I'm understanding, and you're going to look into that, Scott, I hear they ripped off Somalians, ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too. I can say it about other countries, too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. Our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point.
Yeah, we're at a tipping point. What does Tommy know? Tommy knows nothing. Americans, 80%.
Byron Donalds.
Man, the Senate sucks. I'm just going to come out and say it. They suck. This is not hard. 80% of the American people want the Save America Act to pass. Not 80% of Republicans, 80% of the American people. And the only organization that refused to act is the United States Senate. Everybody else is saying, this is common sense. We should do common sense things. Let's make sure only Americans are voting in our elections. Makes sense, right? Let's protect the franchise of the American people. Let's make sure that people who are sent to Washington are being voted on by Americans. Who the American people choose is up to them, but we have a responsibility to secure that franchise and to secure that process for the American people. And what is happening in the U.S. Senate is laziness, and quite frankly, it's disgusting. What? The Senate Democrats don't want to have voter ID in America. Why? Because they want to maintain their power. Senate Republicans don't want to do the right thing and actually have a true filibuster on the floor and debate the matter on the floor, because it would take them away from their precious meetings that they have to conduct. I'm sorry. They have a responsibility to open up the Senate floor and debate this issue in front of the American people. I agree with Chairman Harris 1,000%. I want to hear what Chuck Schumer has to say on the floor in full debate about why he opposes this measure. I want to hear what Elizabeth Warren has to say about why she would oppose this measure. I want her to tell the people of Massachusetts why she believes that the people of Massachusetts should not have to show a photo ID in order to vote in a federal election in the United States of America. Just the other day, President Obama opened up his presidential library in Chicago. You needed an ID to attend the event. So if you're going to show up for President Obama's library, you got to present a voter ID, a photo ID to gain access to that event. But to vote in our elections, you don't have to do that? That makes no sense. It's crazy and it's stupid. And so the United States Senate has a responsibility to open up that floor, use Senate procedure, actually have a debate. You have a filibustering debate. If Bernie Sanders wants to hold the floor of the U.S. Senate for 6 months, let him. Go ahead. Swap out the Depends. Get some body armor. Somebody slip you some whatever you need. Keep it going. Because it demonstrates the stupidity of your arguments. And that is what the American people want to see. I, for one, want to see what their argument is. But we're not getting that because, and to be blunt, because we have Republican senators who still believe that the U.S. Senate is operating in 1990 America. That is ridiculous. The Democrats are true radicals. They don't want to negotiate. They don't want to debate. They want to obstruct. They want to obstruct common sense.
Communists. The Senate no good.
2 years ago, when I worked to draft this legislation, I worked intently with a number of folks who are currently in the administration in the White House. I worked with Senator Mike Lee, worked with my colleagues here, Cleta Mitchell, one of the most highly respected election lawyers in the nation. And we drafted a simple bill. And it's not complicated. The American people understand it, and that's why it's so important. Only American citizens should vote in American elections. Voter ID should apply in federal elections. The Constitution is clear that we have authority to address this matter, both from the standpoint of handling immigration and dealing with the rules involving our own elections. This is something that the American people want us to do. Very clearly, this is something that the President of the United States wants to see accomplished by virtue of his actions yesterday with respect to the housing bill, but also in his messaging, he's been very clear about this. The only question before us right now is whether the Senate will put America first or continue to put the Senate first. That's what the question is. We're trying to say that the Senate needs to move forward and to force this through using all of the tools at their disposal and to stop hiding behind fake thresholds that the Senate itself has put in place. There is no constitutional requirement for 60 votes. Now, look, I want to pause for a second. I'm a former creature of the Senate, chief of staff to Ted Cruz. I was a lawyer on the Senate Judiciary Committee. I understand the Senate better than, frankly, most. The fact is, we have procedures for the Senate to be the cooling saucer, and no one here is suggesting we shouldn't have that. No one is saying that the Senate shouldn't be able to have rules, to be able to be the historic cooling saucer that it's been. But for senators to blindly ignore the history of the Senate in being able to pass the Civil Rights Act, for example, in the 1960s, after 3 months of sitting on the floor of the House, forcing people to go through the actual work of filibustering on the floor of the Senate, through the rules and the procedures, going through two-speech rule and so forth, to then burn their time and then force the question to a 51-vote threshold. That's the Senate working. Today, they're hiding. And we want them to come forward and to own this issue that we believe is paramount to the future of this nation. The republic is hanging in the balance. Will this country be governed and will the decisions be made by American citizens whose forefathers fought, bled, and died for this country? Or will it be made by people who have come in here and invaded our country illegally and are trying to take this country over? There are numerous other topics I could get into. We're here to talk about the Save America Act. This group is committed to getting it done. This group is we're the ones willing to stand up and take the arrows for saying that we're not going to move legislation, that we're going to stand up and say no, that we're going to stand up and try to force the Senate to act. That's one of the reasons why you've seen some things slow down this week. You're seeing rules now not moving forward because we are committed to achieving the objective the American people want us to do, which is deliver. One final point. This president is set apart because he delivers. This president wants to stand up and achieve something for the American people, not just put something up for campaign purposes. That's the difference. We're here to try to win, and that's why I'm proud to affiliate with this group.
Promises made, promises kept. Absolutely. Amen, brother. How can you negotiate with those that hate our country?
They hate our country. They hate our people. They hate the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party is in big trouble because this isn't stopping with New York. This is going all. Too easy to get elected, giving everything away. Too easy to get elected. Very dangerous. But you'll soon have nothing left. That's the problem. In many ways, they're allowing them to just go their own way, do your own. We don't want to take a chance on saying anything bad because we're afraid we're going to lose our jobs if we do. They're afraid they're going to lose their election if they even think about saying anything bad about this new breed of sick people. They're not smart enough or tough enough to fight the plague that's happening. It's happening right before your very eyes. If they fought them the way they fight Republicans or the way they fight me, they'd be victorious. They didn't beat us, but they'd be victorious against the communists. But they don't have the courage to do so. So they're turning communists themselves. It's becoming a communist party. These are not social Democrats. These are hardcore, godless communists. They're godless communists. All communists are godless. They don't believe in God. This is the most serious threat to our country since its existence, in my opinion, 250 years ago. This is a major threat to our country.
I agree. That ends the political content of the DOXX Report of Sunday, June 28th. I did get an email from someone. I think they're thinking about, let me turn down the sound, moving here. Or they were concerned. No, they mentioned something about, like the market has collapsed here, the housing market. I did a little research on that. And that's not what I found. How do I get rid of this? Hide sidebar, here we go. So, chat and GPT. How would the housing market of the villages, its immediate surrounding area, and Central Florida, in general economic terms, be best described? Let's see. The best economic description is the villages / Central Florida housing market is no longer a boom market. It's a mature, high-demand retirement and migration market that has shifted into a more balanced, buyer-sensitive, price-disciplined phase. In plain English, still desirable, still expensive compared with pre-COVID levels, but no longer anything sells at any price. And that's... So I looked at my home price. It's dropping a little bit. It's down to, what, $345. I think it got up pretty, I don't know wherever the high was, because I just track it, so I know when I do my reports, when I run the numbers for my net worth, I have something to go by. But I came out here and purchased in 2020, November 2020. Put a price, put in a, not a, what do you do when you do it? I made an offer. They accepted the offer back in November 2020. Got a pretty good price, but it did shoot up like a year later and went up 100,000. So I got in. I don't give tax advice or financial advice or housing advice. But if I was talking to someone I would say if you're ready to buy and you got the money, do it. Don't wait. It's like buying, getting into the market. You're not going to find the low. Just dollar cost average. Just get in if you can do it. But if your job is steady and everything else and you want a home, do it. And if you're in your 50s, early 60s, and you want to come to Florida, do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Let's see, the Villages market is not collapsing. Zillow shows the average home value around $393,000. It's down about 1.7 year over year. So, it's a good time to buy. So, anyway, if you want to run it through ChatGPT, find out for yourself. All right, we're going to finish up. We're down to 6 people. The football game has started, Canada and South Africa. We're going to finish up with some UAP clips. White Sands, New Mexico, 1996. UFO or a re-engineering? Test UFO? Who knows? Not sure. Reversed engineered? Well, test pilot is no longer with us after that. Immunity pledge. Now, there is some breaking news on further whistleblowers. Immunity has been pledged.
People say, we want to know where locations of craft and biologics are, right? So we know for a fact that there have been a few very credible whistleblowers that we've talked to that allege that they have information specifically pertaining to this, but they're afraid of losing their clearances. So we have talked directly to the White House. Stephen Miller is absolutely incredible on this topic. And we are providing them with a list of people that will be given immunity in that they will not have to face retribution in the future for violation of their security clearance, or in some cases maybe the Espionage Act, whatever it might be. And that will be them going to the White House, divulging what information they have, and we're following up on it. I'm not saying that I have personally seen stuff, I haven't. But what I am saying is that we are taking the information that we have received, we are handing it off, we are going to get them immunity and protection so that they can divulge that information, and let's see where it leads.
Representative Paulina Luna. Now, what about James Fox talked with Gordon Cooper when he was still alive? Astronaut.
Mercury astronaut Gordon Cooper back in the 90s. Cooper said on camera that there was a landed UFO at circa 1957 at Edwards Air Force Base. His camera crew captured the filming of this object, and he presented this to the higher-ups, and eventually a courier jet came in from Washington. He handed the footage over, which was good. He viewed it.
That's the last he saw.
Exactly. Did you know where that footage went of the flying saucer that landed on the tarmac?
Went to Washington, that's all that I know.
Did you ever keep in touch with anybody about it or discuss it?
How would I keep in touch with anybody about it? There's no way within the military or within the government of keeping track of something that is classified.
Did you try to go after stuff like this?
We did. We have. It's there.
Are you saying that there's some evidence that's still hasn't seen the light of day?
I'm saying most of it hasn't seen the light of day.
Now that's what I'm waiting for. I want to see that. But I think they're building up to it. I hope they don't stop short, as Frank Costanza says, stop short. No, I hope they show that. That's what I want to see. But I think they're building up to it. You got to set the groundwork first. I'm being positive about it. And finally, we have the mothership.
About what happened in 2019, 2020 out west, that went on for months. And it was crazy. I mean, we're talking swarms of unidentified objects and a mothership coming in, and them going inside it, and that thing taking off at lightning speed. So there's a lot of very intrusive activity that is unlike what we've seen before.
I forgot that guy's name, forgive me, but he was a high official in the Defense Department. So, very interesting. All right, that's the show. Unless you got any questions. Pavel, why do you have to do this? Seriously, what is wrong with you? I'll get this comment up here. Yeah, just sneak it in. Think I'd drop off without addressing this. Pavel, Docs, would you say Jack's conned more than $1,000 out of you or less? He hasn't conned anything out of me. That's your narrative. What's wrong with you? What do you got against the guy? He's battling cancer. He's working. You may not like how he handles things, but then don't watch him. What has he ever done to you personally? I would say nothing. No, he hasn't conned me at all. I'm glad he accepted the offer, to help him. That's all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.